when we look at statistics, we're going to start talking about different types of studies. And there are 4 types of studies that we want to make sure you guys get. The first one's called a survey. And when you guys see something with a survey, basically you're getting, maybe if you get a phone call, I can give you a piece of paper, but you're doing something to get, like, answer questions, basically what a survey is. Do you guys know any other examples of a survey? A poll, yeah, that would be a good one. Like, good job. We like ask, even companies send out surveys, like after your prom, the DJ company sent me a survey how they did. It's something that, like, you guys can answer questions quickly.
They sent out the pictures of stuff or some pictures.
They did?
Yeah, they had like little cards and it was like great, good.
Yeah, I gave a 0.
You did?
Yeah.
That was a good example of a survey, though. You don't like one?
No.
Sorry.
I thought my
Sorry.
guys.
So surveys you guys kind of see a lot of. This is a big one, an example of an experimental study. You guys probably see this in science a lot. Dealing with a controlled experiment. Has anyone ever heard that word?
Yeah.
Controlled experiment. So in an experimental study, basically, you're testing out something. And what you have is something called a controlled group. And when you have a controlled experiment, the big idea is that you're splitting things into 2 separate groups. So, for example, if you're testing out maybe like if sneakers can make you run faster, I don't know. All right, certain brand of sneakers. Maybe you're separating them into 2 groups. Everyone else is doing the same exact thing, except one group's wearing a certain kind of sneaker, one group's not. Right, and maybe you can see if maybe the group of the sneakers run faster than another group. You know, people do this a lot more in medicine to actually test out if the medicine's going to work. Right? They split groups into 2 groups. They have the same conditions, except one group gets the real medicine and one gets like a fake medicine. Yeah, it's a placebo. Good. You guys have seen this in science. Good job. Very nice. And the last type of study is called an observational study. And you guys actually see this when, like, Mr. Kolakowski or Mr. Ford come into the classroom. Right? They pick who they're going to go and see, but do they change you at all?
No.
No, they just want to see you in your, like, natural environment. So you're just going to observe what goes on. So nothing, they're not going to say, all right, well, I'm going to teach Nick today. No, they don't do anything different. They just sit back there and watch. But they do choose who they're going to get. Now, we're going to be working with 2 ideas. One's called the sample, one's called the population. When you're doing a study, a sample is when you guys test like a small group. So, for example, if I was going to test, well, I put in here like 11th graders' favorite lunch. And out of all the 11th graders, we just asked my classes only. That's not the whole population of 11th graders, right? Just like a small sample. So, best one, yeah. So, samples when we test a small group. Population is going to be when we test the whole group. So if you guys were doing if we were doing a study with like cafeteria lunches, and I want to see like 11th grade, you guys can. If you guys were looking at 11th grade, you have to ask every single 11th grader to be a population. So 11, like population is the big group, samples just a little piece. Does that kind of make sense to you guys? All right. Sorry, I don't see it's kind of boring. All right. And then, sorry, we're going to open a window, so it's currently like here. Okay, the last thing I want to go over with you guys, and this is why you have the calculators. Hopefully this sounds familiar to you guys. Remember mean, median, and mode? Maybe from like 8th, 9th grade, maybe even 7th grade. Okay. So mean is the average. It's when we add all the numbers together and then you divide by however many you have. Median is the middle number. Make sure, this is one thing everybody forgets, you got to order them from least to greatest. Right, if there's 2 numbers in the middle, you just find the average. Mode is the number that's used most often. Range is the difference between the highest and lowest number. What does difference mean? What does that word mean? Contraction. Good job. You got it. Now, quartiles is going to be, we're not going to deal a ton with quartiles today, but you guys might remember it from the box and Whisker pod back from 9th grade. Do you guys remember, like, we're not going to actually be making any of these, but that kind of, I know, they're so stupid. They're not a very good representation of data. The only thing that's good with box and whiskers was way back when that there was 4 sections. So each of the sections was 25%. So each of them was a quartile, like quartiles, like quarters, which 4 of them. So that's kind of what you guys used it for. We're not going to deal with those. A big one that comes up is this idea of interquartile range. And we're going to get this right on the calculator, which is great. And the lower extreme and upper extreme are just the highest and lowest numbers. So I want to show you guys a cool way to do this right in your calculator, so you don't actually have to physically calculate anything. It's really cool. So we're going to be doing this quite a bit. Now, do most of you guys have one calculator between you? You guys have one, you have one. You know just you're going to want that one.
Well, I read the question.
You have to write them all. Well, if you want that. Anybody have one in their locker that's borrowed now? Currently? Oh, this is perfect. That works out good. Then you guys can share it down together. Okay. Alright, so we're going to get started. We're going to do this twice, so that way, like, everybody can get, time to find it. So this is really cool. You guys are going to go to your calculator. Okay. And we're going to go to the stat key. Maybe you guys are doing this long because it's kind of different. Right, so find your stat key. Right there. Right. And then we're going to go to edit. Now you guys should have like L1, L2, L3, L4. Some things come up like that. You guys have that? You want the stat and then edit? Okay. Jenna, do you have a stat edit button on there? No. What? Yeah, we can do it for that. We'll do it twice. So that way you guys can, everybody together can do it. So Jenna, go to stat, edit. Jess, you're going to want to do it this way. Trust me, it's so much easier. You find your stat. All right, so what you're going to do is you have data up here. Still in it, you're going to go up, hit clear, and then enter. Same thing, go over, up, clear, and enter, and it should wipe them out. Now, once you guys have wiped everything out, right, all we're going to do is just enter your list. Okay, so all those numbers, you don't even have to put them in order. All you have to do is just type them in. So we're just going to do 5, 5, 10, 7, and you just hit enter once you put them in. 11, 2, 6. So you're just typing all in. Yep, just type them all in. Okay, you should have 15 of them. Yeah. There should be 15 stickers. Let me know when you guys are done. Okay. I wrote the directions in there too, for you on the side. Okay. Once you guys are done, you have them all entered. Okay, so we're going to go back to the stat key. Okay, and I wrote the directions right on the bottom so you guys can kind of follow along too. Right? We're going to arrow over to calculate. Okay, and we're going to go to 1 var stat. Okay. Now what you guys want to do is make sure L1 is in the list, except for Jenna, yours is going to be L2 until I can fix this calculator. And yeah, this one is L1. You should want it. Right. So then So once you guys have this in, just hit enter. And we should get these numbers. Let me know if yours looks like that. Does it not look like that?
So mine doesn't look like that. I don't know. I'm on one. How do you see that?
Yours doesn't look like that, Jeff? Yeah, like that.
How do I calculate it? Press enter and nothing
Okay, I'm good. Alright, so this is kind of cool because it gives you guys all the information. Remember how like back in ninth grade you guys actually had to calculate it all? This is it. So it gives you guys a couple things. Right? This is your mean. Okay? So it tells you what the mean is. Mean is going to be this thing called x bar, which is kind of cool. So the mean is going to be about 10.7 here. Now, if we want to figure out what the median is, arrow down. Use your calculator button. Yep. Oh my gosh, why? Sorry, I don't know. There we go. So arrow down until you find MED. That's going to be the median. So again, you didn't even have to organize your list. It will do it all for you. So median is going to be 9. Now, the one thing it doesn't do, it does not give us the mode. If you guys try to arrow down, it can't find it. So we'd have to look at our list. What do you guys think the mode is? What number is used most often? You might have more than one. 5, yeah. Good. 5, 9. Those are all used twice, right? 14, good. I think that's it. Yeah, good job. All right. Now the range, if you guys look back up at your definition, was the difference between the highest and the lowest score. So let's go back to our calculator. This is cool. Even if you guys didn't organize this, you didn't feel like looking through, what it does is it gives us a minimum and a maximum number. So this one's going to be your lowest. This one's the highest. So if you subtract those, what would your range be? 30, good. Yeah.
Why can't you just like some ninth grade?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I taught my ninth grade class, but.
I remember doing this this year.
Right, yeah.
But I don't like it.
You don't like it. Oh, sorry. Okay. Q1, the lower and upper quartile. Okay. This is another thing that's found right on our calculator. They tell you the lower quartile is 6 and the upper quartile is 14. So you guys get this right from here. 6, 14. Okay. Now the lower extreme and the upper extreme are just the lowest number and the highest number, which you guys already kind of found. What was your lowest number? 2. Highest number was 32. Awesome. Okay. Now interquartile range. This is a big one for like people going on next year into like Algebra 2 trig. They love asking this question. All this means is taking Q3 minus Q1. So if you take your Q3, which was 14, what was your Q1? 6. And you subtract those, what do you get?
8.
Great. That's it. That's your answer. Yeah. Isn't that cool how you can just like put it in your calculator and it does it? Yeah, but it's easy. It's not study. Right. So if you were someone who wasn't working with a calculator, try it one more time. I can walk you guys through. It's easy. It's like not even long. You can handle it. Plus, the homework helps your averages.
Here you go.
We're doing all this.
Well, luckily you don't need that
There's
part.
like most reasons why we're reading best. No.
If anybody needs a recap on how to put this stuff in, like your other partner, all you have to do is go to stat, a day? You actually doing this? All right, yeah, I'll do it then. All right, so just go to staff, you go to edit. All right, you can leave this in, I'm sure you can actually type in numbers, right? Yeah. So that's just like putting in your letters, and you have to go back to staff.
Yeah.
Okay, arrow over to calculate,
Oh, yeah.
and you want one bar staff. Okay. Right. Okay, so I want to make sure you have L1, because that's where you put the list in. So just make sure there's only an L1 in there, and then go ahead and hit enter. You should hit something.
I didn't actually like it. Oh, okay.
Oh, I got you, okay. So as long as we're doing this like every day, so you guys don't really like.